All right, before we talk about Hertz and why they carry a different standard for their rental cars, especially their performance rental cars, than I do, let's talk about an opportunity for you guys to come to Europe with us. And you look behind me right there. That's, I don't know, I haven't been there, but that's in France somewhere. It was a painting of a cafe in Paris. And what's good about cafes in Paris are that you can be in Paris with us this coming Saturday. Now, this is like the last minute of last minute giveaways. Check out the link in the description. I'm going to sell 500 shirts. That gives you a 1 in 500 chance, or if you want to buy 500 shirts, that gives you you're coming to Europe with us. But I'm going to take somebody to Europe, and this is like super last minute, but there's those opportunities in life that it's like me personally. I was working at a golf course. Will Smith, like training for Bagger Vance, shows up by himself in the morning. I'm like, do I quit can I play with Will Smith? Because you're looking for somebody to pair up Will Smith to play golf with. And I'm like, I will quit my job right now. And half of me regrets not doing it. The other half, this is one of those opportunities because I'm going to take somebody to Europe with us. They're going to go to Paris, France on Saturday. We're going from Paris over to Bordeaux, over to Le Mans, down, make our way to Andorra, which you don't even know Andorra is a country. It's a small little awesome country. It's like Monaco, but in the mountains. Then we're going down to Barcelona for 2 nights, staying at the W in Barcelona, going over to Marseille. From Marseille, going up to Geneva, driving Col d'Arvis. I pronounced it wrong because I'm American, but it's a great driving road up there. It's a lot of fun. Over to Geneva, back to Paris. It's going to be an awesome trip, and I've got one spot for one of you guys, or one of the yous that buys the t-shirts. If you haven't already clicked off me to click in the description, now is your chance. But that's out of the way. Let's talk about Hertz, because Hertz, I just rented the car from Hertz. I went down, so I've been renting racetracks 1 a month. I was doing videos on them, but you guys don't seem to care about racetracks. So I just go enjoy myself. And we're the weirdest people to rent racetracks. It's my buddy who's actually renting them, and I just show up and hang out and drive. But it's sort of weird because we don't really care. Racetrack companies are used to renting racetracks to like corporations. People that are like, all right, I've got 600 cars coming today. We're doing run groups, and it's like, and everyone's there like before the gates open. And then you get us. You rent a racetrack. They're like, you guys coming today? Yeah, it's only 9 o'clock, and we show up at like 10, but we rent the track from like 8 to 5, and we show up sort of leisurely, like, hey, you guys take lunch? Go take lunch. We'll just, we drove a little bit, now we're like throwing a football around, and like, we'll go have lunch and come back eventually, and then drive some more in the afternoon. So we're very leisurely. We have a great time, and it's like, we've had racetracks that we've rented where it's like 2 cars, just like 3 of us driving around 2 cars. It's a lot of fun. I drove the 720R down there, and that thing was pretty silly, but the whole reason for this story is that I rented a Camaro. It's funny, me and my buddy Brandon both end up renting the same cars when we travel. We have no idea why, but it's like, oh, I'm going to get a Ford Fusion. He shows up in a Ford Fusion. I'm like, good, dude. Then I go rent a Camaro. Don't tell him I'm renting a Camaro SS. Dude shows up in a Camaro SS. I'm like, what are the odds? So I just rented a Camaro SS down in Raleigh-Durham at the airport. And I got it. I was like, oh, cool. It's got the little sticker on the side that says, like, we clean this car. You sanitize this car. You should feel good about how clean and sanitary this car is. And you open the door and there's like a bottle under the seat. You see it from like, oh, look, there's a bottle under the seat when I go to put my bag in the back. Super clean. Different cleanliness standards than I have. I got in the car. I didn't look at the year, but it was a 37,000 mile V8 Camaro SS. Now, this is their premium offering, right? This is like the best sports car that they had. I went to get a Mustang. It's Mustang or similar. They gave me a V8 Camaro SS, but they do guarantee the V8. And I'm like, good, I can enjoy this. I'm down, driving in the mountains, not taking it on the racetrack or anything like that. Who would ever do something like that? When I went out, had a good time, rented this car, and I'm like, this car doesn't feel that great. And when we're at the track, we're bored. We're throwing a football around. So I'm like, let me take a look, just to see like how this car is equipped. Because it doesn't drive great, but I figured it could just be a V8 Camaro, and I'm used to like higher performance cars. Returning my rental Camaro here at Hertz. And not that I ever pay attention, but the N5000 Plus is on the front, at least that one.
This is an SS, by the way, so it's a performance car. The Zeeks XE9, whatever. The Falcon on the other side. That VIR shirt. And we've got the Rapsis on the back. And we have this one. This is a Raptis on this side. So we're close.
So there's 3 different tires on the car. So there's like 2 in the back, and I thought it was 4 at first. And I think the reason, because I was rushing through the airport, I think there's 2 different of the same brand in the back, and then the fronts are completely different too. So these are all like absolute rocks, right? These are like Ling Lang, like whatever, 500 tread wear rating. The things don't roll over. They just sort of make noise and perform terribly. And how terribly would they perform? Well, I don't know. If you were driving an equivalent Camaro with all the same tires, I would guess probably about 5 seconds a lap faster is my intuition if the same driver is driving both cars, which is a big difference. And as a guy running a rental company for so many years, I would say that that is an unsafe condition in which to rent a car. Now, if it was standard Ford Fusion, I get it, how that slips through the cracks, but you're renting premium performance cars. This is your performance car offering. You're a, I don't know, it could be a negative $1 billion company or a positive $1 billion company. Depends on the stock market. But this is probably one of the largest, if not the single largest car rental company in the world. And they allow their cars to go out with mismatched tires. Now, you're not talking like one mismatched tire, somebody got a flat and swapped it. They're all mismatched. Like, I was like, you know what? At least the rotational direction is correct. Because at least that would have been like, all right, this is embarrassing. Like, the one tire is going backwards. Now, it didn't rain. Is this an unsafe condition is the question, right? Is it unsafe to rent somebody? Like, the worst thing for Hertz is if somebody crashes that car. Even no matter what, if somebody crashes that car trying to like slide around the corner in the rain, as soon as a lawyer picks wind of those tires all being wrong, Hertz is sued. Like, it's a lawsuit. And like, what is this? Is this safe? Like, do they sell tires individually and you pick one for each corner? No, you have to buy them in a set. And I've even in the past been concerned about renting like the same brand, but different tires in the front, different tires in the rear. I felt it was okay because I used to be able to run my Corvette. I would run it on like BFGs in the front and then drag radials in the back. So technically different tires and not incredibly unsafe, but then you drive at high speed on drag radials. Like, this isn't really safe. But it didn't seem like the end of the world. Now, when you start throwing different tread patterns on, different tread wear ratings, at least I'd hope they were the correct size. It becomes less dangerous, but one of those things that I've avoided at all costs is we always check the tires. We want to make sure you got good tires. They are appropriate. They're not bad tires. And I don't know if there's a legal argument that you can make that somebody put crap tires on the car, because I was flown out to Tire Rack. I did their winter driving academy, and they had us testing, and not winter tires, but they had us testing tires on their skid pad. There's a guy, Woody, over there, who's in charge of, I want to say product development, but I think it's just fun. I think Woody's in charge of fun over at Tire Rack. And he was just sort of lapping the track, and we would go out and they would wet the whole thing. And we'd go out and they took like legitimately as a company called like Ling Lang. And you get them on here. They don't even sell them on Tire Rack. They're like, look, we don't even sell these. They're such crap. They look like tires, they're round, they're black, but they don't perform like anything else. So we drove a sequence of different sport tires and the Ling Langs, and it's like sort of, it's incredibly noticeable. In the dry, less so, but in the wet, it's like you're all over the place. You're like, what is going on? Why would anyone put these tires on a car? So I don't know if that would be a liability risk for a rental company, because a rental company is giving you something, and you're under the impression that it's maintained, that it's safe, it's the way it's supposed to be. The steering was clicking on my Camaro, and the brakes weren't so good. The brakes tended to fade a little quicker than I would have expected, but that just could be standard 37,000 miles on the Camaro. And then the tires being wrong wasn't, I think if it rained, could have been a significantly larger issue. And the question is, do I do that? No. Would I do that? No. That's why if somebody gets a flat tire, and it sucks, right? If you get a flat tire, and somebody has to charge you for like a pair, nobody likes doing that, but you have to. Like if a tire is at the point, it's always one of those things with customers that I feel really bad for. Like you blow out a wheel and it's like, I can't just put a brand new tire on front right and front left is like 60% worn or 40% worn. I've got to do something here, so I got to match those up. The rears and the fronts tend to wear at different rates on the exotic cars, especially if it's a rear-wheel drive car, because there is just something, I'm not talking about burnouts, but there is a little bit more wheel spin. Like even a 488, when you get on it, that it does, like, it catches itself, but it does wear the rears faster because there's a little bit more aggression going on in the back of the cars. But let me know your thoughts. I think it's unsafe for Hertz to rent a car with. I was amazed. Like, to me, like, I'd fire people. I don't want to fire people because it sucks to fire people. But like, somebody's got to be in charge of that. For such a large company to let something like that slip through the cracks, I don't know what to say. I like the experience I had renting their best, like, and I don't know if that's their best. Their luxury SUVs could be better. But for their performance category means like, you know what? I'm going to rent a nice V8 performance car and I'm going to go for a nice drive through the countryside. And when you do that, you want to give somebody something that's safe. And I don't feel that that car was incredibly safe. Hertz may disagree with me. I don't know. I voiced my opinion to the guy checking in the car. Whether that gets anywhere or not, who knows? I'm like, by the way, all these tires are wrong. Just so you know. Like, this is just me to you. And I could be like, gotcha, buddy. And then he leaves. Who knows if that actually gets rectified or not. But if you end up renting that car in North Carolina, it's probably Raleigh-Durham still, and it's got North Carolina plates. If that's a car that you rent and it's still got those 4 tires, that's a Hertz problem. Hertz is aware of this. If you crash that car in the rain and you find this video and you're like, holy crap, the tires are all still wrong and I crashed it in the rain, you owe me 10%. Rob Ferretti, thank you for watching. Hope to see you in Europe. Reminder, go check out and grab a t-shirt. There's 500 of them. After I hit 500 of them, I'm going to stop the sale. So check it out. I'd love to see one of you guys come to Europe with us. I've had many guys, all guys so far. Well, 98% of my audience is male. But statistically, maybe there's going to be a girl that wins sometime. But any of you guys and girls that want to go out, win a trip to go to Europe, that's going to be this Friday. If you're from the U.S., you're going to have to fly out this coming Friday. I will cover your flight. I've got the trip, and I'll make sure you're in a car, and you're going to have a great time. Rob Ferretti, hope to see you in Europe. If not, I'll see you here on the channel tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you then.